It's time for this.
Today a reader, tomorrow a leader.
It's time for your book review on In Season.
And I'm joined on the line by Tes Jahnig, and she wears many hats. For those who don't know, she wears many hats, among which, alongside her husband, leads Link Church. And this morning, she joins us as an author to chat about her latest book titled The Yes Life. Good morning, Tes. How are you doing? Hi, can you hear me? If maybe you can unmute your mic, perhaps. Okay. All right. We'll be having her join us back in just a few, but she will be chatting this morning with regards to the Yes Life. Moving bravely forward. As I mentioned, that she wears many, many hats, and she also hosts Link Sisterhood. So stick around, and I'll be chatting to her in just a few. Is Win right here on
Oh, there she's back.
1.5, hanging out with Stefan Green on that beautiful one. And I believe it is from the latest EP, that which is available for download on all streaming platforms. Tess, good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm so sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
Just one of those Thursday morning glitches where my computer
Exactly.
decided it didn't want to have a microphone today.
But I'm glad that we eventually have you join us this morning. I am so excited. I love this book. But before we can chat about it a little in depth, your late father is one of the dedicates of the book. Right, you dedicated this book to him as well, and you recalled of a time when he smiled at you when you told him that I think I've written a book.
Yeah.
Were there plans, for you to write a book in the future? Did you always dream of becoming an author?
I have. I suppose as even a young girl, seeds were planted in my heart by a teacher. So shout out to all the teachers. We have a big role to play in children's lives. And she just said, I look forward to reading your book one day. And I think that was a seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always wanted to, I suppose, have this goal of writing a book. And so I'd spoken about it for a long time. But unfortunately, he passed away the year before I finished it. So that kind of paused things for the book side. But I think he kind of knew I could do it,
Yeah.
He wasn't concerned about that. I think it's just for me on this side of eternity, wondering what he would have thought if he got to read it. But I do know that he knows. So yeah.
Yeah. And the audio recording that you promised, how is that going?
So it's going. You have to put in a request, so we're there. It's just more me getting my head around reading the whole book out loud.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking about it, Tez, is there a particular backstory, a specific backstory that prompted you to write this book? Or if no, what inspired you to pen this book down?
So it's a great story, actually. Thank you for asking. In COVID, I think many of us were question so much of perhaps what we were doing or what the future held. And it was in that time, my husband and I lead a church. And as a way of really encouraging and equipping and blessing our team, he threw this invitation out to us, and he said, if I could make anything possible for you in this next season, as your boss, someone who leads you, send me an email and let's see where it goes. And I had come across this book writing course that I just sensed if I could get the tools to help me put the words down, I'd get over the finish line. And so that was my request. And he said, that's so easy, go for it. So that was the process. I signed up for a course with a great coach. And the course promises, or they say that they'll get you to write the book in 100 days, which is amazing. I probably wrote about 3/4 of it in that time. The course was really helpful because what they did is they asked us to look back at our lives and find a thread. Like, what is our testimony? What is our story? If we could leave anything behind that would be on paper for all of time, what would we say? And so that when I look back at my life, I realized there was this thread of yes, this radical obedience that I live with or have lived with, and it has shaped so much of who I am, who I'm becoming, the way that our family is. And so I attempted to tell stories and take people on a journey of what it looks like to say yes. Some of the book talks about the motivation for that, the conviction as to why we say yes. So I try and give the reader a real, I think, a well-rounded approach to what yes truly I believe is. And in that, tell some really vulnerable stories, because not all of life is straightforward.
Exactly.
Even in some of those times, we're still called to say yes. So,
exactly.
So that
I
is
love
what
that.
it is. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, fast forward rather to chapter 21.
Okay.
It speaks about an everyday yes. It speaks about an everyday yes, and maybe tying that with your experience. What does an everyday yes look like in this day and age?
Sure. I think, you know what, we live in a generation that wants, and when I say generation, I'm talking about everyone who's drawing breath on the planet right now. We're a generation alive at the same time. And there is this notion of, we want a big, bold life. We want the grand story. We want things quickly. We're convenience driven. But yes, isn't always those grand, extravagant moments, Yes, every day. I always say to people when we talk about this, I said yes to marry my husband. One time I said yes. But the reality of marriage is you say yes every day.
Sure.
I say yes to him every day. And that means sometimes that looks like saying yes to someone who you're not sure really well anymore. You're torn apart, or you're saying yes to sickness. You're saying yes to someone who's journeying something really challenging and difficult. You're perhaps saying yes to a challenging financial situation. So that yes, although it's beautiful and there's a white dress and there's celebration surrounding it on that one day, it requires an everyday kind of yes following that. And that those yeses, those everyday yeses also shape our no's. I chose to say yes to Dylan, and so that shapes my no's. I say yes to one man. I say no to all other men. And so I find that quite a powerful thought, that actually I don't know if we need to start from the place of no every day. I think for me, it's powerful to start from the place of yes. What am I saying yes to? Because when I know what I'm saying yes to, that will shape everything else. That will
Exactly.
shape my habits. That will shape my daily my daily walk, what that looks like, my rhythms. So that's, I suppose, what I mean by the everyday yes life is it's not just the moments where we shoot the lights out, where
Yeah.
the lights are on and everyone's applauding, big yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also the everyday moments where we just got to live it out.
Exactly. Now, would you say that, choosing to, a yes life is more of having a positive outlook on life as opposed to choosing a no life?
I do think so. I've never spoken of myself as an inherently a positive person. I
Uh-huh.
married one of those people, like the enthusiasts in life, the optimistic ones.
Mm.
We need those people. They are the ones where they walk into the room and everything sparkles.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for those kind of people. So I wouldn't say I have that inherent optimism to me.
Okay.
But I do believe that yes is a lean towards the good. It is a lean towards what's possible, not
Mm,
the not focusing perhaps on the obstacles, and that
got
actually was how I used to live my life.
yeah.
I did want to say yes, and I did want to do amazing things for God, and I did feel called, but there was always this fear of failure. What if I
Mhm.
get it wrong? What if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And now I choose to lean towards yes, despite all of that,
Mhm.
because the reality is I don't believe we ever fully have the full plan or picture here on earth. We see in
Yeah.
part,
True.
and
True.
if I have, for me and as Tess, if I wait for the full picture and plan, I'll do nothing. And
Exactly.
so the yes stuff is really about, having this bias towards yes,
Mhm.
and that shape everything else.
Yeah, yeah. And the subtitle of the book, so to speak, is "Moving Bravely Forward," and that
Yeah.
comes with the yes life, right?
Yes, it does. Because for me, not like, as I've just spoken with you, not being someone who sees perhaps the glass half full all the time.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes saying, if not all the time for me, saying yes has been choosing to move bravely forward. To
Uh-huh.
choose yes is brave for me.
Yeah.
It requires me to move beyond myself, beyond my own limitation, beyond what I think is possible.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I've loved that tagline. I think it just sums it up, because I think saying yes in today's world is brave,
Yeah.
because largely the narrative that I feel I'm surrounded by, I don't know about you, is one of no,
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
And I would rather have my yes shape my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
There's a statement that you made in the book. It says, sometimes our best yes will demand a wise and a strategic no. And I believe,
Yeah.
having, because I received this book yesterday and I
Uh,
just kind of
yeah.
managed to browse through it. And
Amazing.
I couldn't help but
Amazing.
notice that it holds golden principles that one can live and embody this yes life. For those who will be picking up a copy, Tez, what is your hope for the reader? What is your hope or the message that you're hoping that will transform their lives?
Thank you. That's a beautiful question. So, I truly believe that if you're anything like me listening to this today, you perhaps may live with a sense that the yes life, or the big bold things, the success stories, are reserved for a special elite few. The ones that are talented beyond what you think is possible. And what I've realized is that yes is for everyone. Yes is for
Mm.
those that will lend their whole selves. The Bible talks about Jesus' narrative over us being one of yes. And we lend our amen to that. We bring our amen to the table. I love that. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I would love people to know, is that the yes life is not reserved for Tess. Not
Mhm.
reserved for the pastors, the ones who have the theology degrees. It's
Yeah.
not reserved for the people who we deem as successful in this life. The yes life is for everyone.
Ah,
And I believe there's an invitation from the Father for all of us to
yeah.
embrace the fullness of life that He offers us. And it's marked, I believe, with yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I really want to encourage everyone, if you're listening today, to open up your heart to believe His yes over you.
Yeah.
Because when you see His yes over you, you will be able to respond with a yes in return.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Because of time, I do have to love and leave you. But for those who'd like to purchase a copy, where is this brilliant book available?
Amazing. So you can purchase the Yes Life on our website. It's called the yeslifebook.com. We ship
Okay.
all around South Africa. And if you are overseas, you can find it on Amazon in all the different territories and nations. And so it's pretty simple. The book gets to you within a day or two. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Tess, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is really a powerful book. And I hope that, moving forward, as you hope per your message and you hope for the book, that readers will really be transformed, their minds will be renewed with regards to how they view their own lives. So thank you so much. You are such a joy to chat to. Thank you.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
All right. If you missed it, the chat is on our Facebook, it's on YouTube. And if you would like to purchase a copy of this particular book titled The Yes Life, you can head over to the website at www.theyeslifebook.com. And again, what better way to wrap up this conversation other than playing a link worship song? This one is titled, yes.
That's amazing.
This this one is titled Praise Him, featuring Stefan Green and Ashley. Let's have a listen.